I'm Brandon Eastman, host of the Be Better broadcast, and I work with corporate teams and professional salespeople to help them sell more things and elevate their performance to operate at their peak. And we're in quarter four. We are almost at the second half of quarter four. We're heading into November here, and you know what happens in November. We're coming up on, well, today's Halloween for one. We're coming up on Thanksgiving. We're coming up on the holiday season. We're coming up on Christmas. We're coming up on that busy time, but busy from the focus of being a consumer, right? Unless you are in an industry that is heavily busy by default because of the holidays, that may be the case. But even if that is the case, our message today, how to sell more and maximize your sales in quarter four, is still applicable for you. This conversation is going to be for you if you've already reached your goal. This conversation is going to be for you if you just want that extra boost to take it to the next level, or this conversation is for you if you just happen to find yourself struggling and beginning to find yourself slump into that feeling of what some people call seasonal depression. Right? And we could hop into that and a whole entire conversation in itself. But I've got 3 tips for you specifically today that will help you maximize your sales. Let's jump right into it. The first tip that's going to help you maximize your sales in quarter four is you have to have a plan. All right. Jim Kunkel just joined us. And before he even heard number 1, Jim said, Brandon, let's close out 2022. And Jim, you said it before I said it. I swear your comment popped in after I already said it. You said plan for 2023. And you're absolutely right. And I'll take that a step further and say plan for the end of 2022. You are either in one or two places right now. You've already reached your income goal for the year. You've made the 100,000, 500,000, the million, whatever your personal income goal is, whatever your quote unquote quota is, and you're just looking to get better. And that's why you're watching this. And it makes sense because you wouldn't be watching this if you didn't want to get better. Or you are someone who has not yet reached your goal and you might be projecting ahead 2 months and registering your pace. And you're saying to yourself, if I continue at the pace that I'm at right now, I'm not going to reach my goal. And like I said, this conversation is for you no matter which of those 2 boats you're in. But if you're someone who's already reached your goal, that's great. But there's also the other side of the coin that says it's time to create a new goal. It's not time to slow down. It's not time to rest, right? Rest should be built in to your routine. Rest shouldn't be something that you do once you get to where it is you want to be. That's where burnout comes from. That's where discontent comes from. That's where unhappiness comes from, even if you are quote unquote successful monetarily or whatever other area of life. So it's time to create a new plan, a new goal if you've already reached your goal for the year. If you haven't reached your goal, then these tips are going to help you as well. You know the reason why we create goals. We talk about it all the time. The part of our brain called the reticular activating system, right? We've got 2 parts of our brain. We've got the conscious mind and we've got the subconscious mind, right? The subconscious mind is the one calling the shots. The subconscious mind is the one feeding you conscious thoughts as soon as you wake up in the morning that say, Joe, you don't want to prospect today, Joe. People are going to be asleep. People are not going to be buying for the holiday. I work with someone who says, Brandon, they don't have the budget, right? Well, even if they don't have the budget right now, the budget's going to be replenished and eventually they will have the budget. Eventually, the person who tells you they don't want to buy is going to want to buy, right? So we can either make excuses why we're not going to be at our goal, or we can do what we can and control what we can in order to set ourselves up for the future. So when you create a plan, when you set a goal first and then create a plan, you're telling your subconscious mind what it is you want. Think of your subconscious mind like Google Maps, right? You go in here, you plug in the address, and as you're turning down each road, as you're going down the highway, it's showing you exactly where to go, right? Sometimes you've already been on this route and this path so many times that it's become automatic for you. And you might have an hour commute to work. You might have a 2-hour commute, but all of a sudden you leave work and then boom, you're home. And you're like, wow, how the heck did I get home so fast? I don't remember any of this drive. That's your subconscious mind taking control. And the problem with that is many of us are being controlled by this subconscious mind that we are not consciously directing. Setting that goal, directs the subconscious. Creating the plan gives you a framework to work upon, right? So after you create the goal, make the plan. So if your goal for the next 2 months is to close an additional 2 clients, and I actually just made a post yesterday about language, and I just used a very bad word. If your goal is not to close, but to secure 2 more clients before the end of the year, then what do you need to do? What must you do each day activity-wise in order to secure those additional clients? How many messages will you have to make? How many phone calls will you have to make? If you've been in your industry and in your role for a long time, then you know these numbers. You know exactly what it takes. So rather than just throwing, darts at the dartboard, hoping that one just happens to hit the bullseye, create a plan. Know that if you send 20 messages on LinkedIn each day, you're going to get 1 client at the end of that month based on the amount of conversations needed to make that happen, so that you have 2 clients by the end of the year. Maybe shoot for 3 clients, shoot for 4 clients. Set a realistic goal, but also add to that goal, right? And my recommendation for you is don't set your goal based on other people. If there's someone ahead of you right now, that's great. It's always great to have someone ahead of you, right? I'm not going to be the guy here saying you need to be number 1, right? That's great because that means you're making the most money generally. But when you're number 2 and you've got that person ahead of you, what does that do, right? I know that motivates me, right? For years and years and years, I was top in the store that I was working in, and I was only top because there was one other person in the store who was just as good as me, who we would go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. They motivated me to be better because I was in proximity to people who were professional salespeople, right? But don't set your goal based on another person. Create your goal based on what you've done in the past compared to your potential of where you could be sales-wise. Create your goal based on where you know you can be, and then create a plan to see it through. That's number 1. Number 2, to maximize your sales. Well, let me ask you. You probably already know this. What tends to happen at this time of the year? We're celebrating Halloween today, if you can celebrate it, right? We definitely do celebrate it. It might not be the best word, though. We've got Thanksgiving coming up. We've got Christmas coming up, right? This era of the year, what tends to happen, right? We take it easy. A lot of people, especially where I live up in the Northeast and upstate New York, it's cold outside, right? The snow starts to fall. The leaves are on the ground as I speak right now. I went on my walk this morning, walking through these crunchy leaves. I shot a video. You can't hear a word I said because of all the leaves on the ground under my feet. And it's very easy to make the excuse of, I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to stay moving because it's cold outside and it's the holidays. So I'm going to eat whatever it is I want to eat. Number 2, to maximize your sales in quarter 4 is to get moving, right? You might be saying, Brandon, what does this have to do with sales? The top salespeople that I've observed take care of their body and their mind. But the thing is, when you take care of your body, you're taking care of your mind at the same time. There is a mind-body connection that is very real, that's been talked about for decades, and especially over the past decade, there's been copious amounts of research done that shows when you are nurturing your body, putting the right foods in your body, moving your body, not hours each day, but even 20 minutes to 30 minutes every single day, then you are going to operate at higher peak levels of performance at work, in sales, in your conversations with others, conversations with your spouse, with your family, with your kids. You're going to have higher energy levels and you're going to feel better, right? I know personally that if I don't continue to move and stay conscious of what I'm putting into my body during the holiday season, my suits are going to get tighter. My pants, my jeans specifically, because this is when I start wearing the jeans at this time of year, the jeans are tight. And how do you feel when you squeeze on the pair of jeans and you look at yourself, you haven't put your shirt on yet, and you got the love handles, right? How does it feel when you know that you were at a point in your life where that wasn't the case because you were taking action to make it so it wasn't the case? How do you feel when you realize that you've let yourself go? And then how does it feel when you go through the rest of the holiday season continuing to do the same actions that got yourself in that place in the first place? It doesn't feel great, right? And if you don't feel great because of the way that your clothes fit, because of your low levels of energy, what are the conversations with your clients going to be like? What are the conversations and the interactions with your family going to be like after you close the laptop for the day, or come home from the office for the day, or leave the corporate meeting that you were at for 2 days and you ate like crap while you were there? What are those things going to be like? What if instead you took the time to nurture your body just 20 minutes each day? 20 minutes. You get up earlier, you go to the gym, you do a few sets, right? There's thousands and thousands of YouTube videos you can look up to get strong and efficient workout routines, even for only 20 minutes. What if you just woke up and went into your living room and bought a $10 yoga mat off of Amazon and got moving as soon as you woke up? What would that mean for the rest of your day? What would that mean for your sales performance? What would that mean about the way that you feel? What would that mean about you when you put your clothes on in the morning and they actually fit great and you have energy to last you throughout your entire day? Don't wait for New Year's. Don't wait to create the resolution and become one of the 84% of people who drop their resolutions 2 weeks into the new year. Start today. Maximize your sales, but also live a better life by moving on a daily basis and making it a consistent part of your routine. That's number 2. Number 3, to maximize your sales in quarter 4 is an actual sales strategy. Okay. You've helped clients for this entire year. You might have already reached your goal. You might have fallen short of your goal, but you still got 2 months to make that up, right? What I want you to do is right now, I want you to think in your mind, who were your top clients this year? And when I say top clients, I don't necessarily mean the clients who bought the most things. They might be synonymous with one another, but I want you to think of the top clients in the sense of you got along with them the best. You developed great relationships with them. You truly enjoyed the work you did with them. You'd be able to call this client an ideal client. And rather than you hunting and prospecting for new business in the next 2 months, which I do recommend you still do that, but instead of making that the priority of your focus, what I would like you to do and what I challenge you to do is I want you to check in with each of those top clients. I want you to do it today, tomorrow, and the next day. You can reach them all in that time period unless you have a short sales cycle and you've helped a ton of different people over the past year. I want you to reach out to those top clients and say, hey, Joe, how have the past however many months been for you? Since we've worked together, what are the changes that you've continued to see? Well, hey, I was thinking of you and I wanted to reach out to 1, check in on you, which we just did. And 2, Joe, I'm not sure if this is for you, but over the next 2 months, I have a plan to reach a certain levels of sales performance. And I was wondering if I could get your help. And Joe's going to say, yeah, of course, Brandon, what do you need? How can I help you? You took great care of us. You followed up with us throughout. You've checked in with us. You didn't just reach out to us at the end of the year, even though we haven't spoken to each other in months, right? Obviously, you have to continue to follow up and check in with your clients throughout the year in order to do this. And he's going to say, Brandon, how can I help you? And you're going to say, Joe, can you give me 1 person or 2 people that I can reach out to, or you can make an introduction to them for me that I can help and provide the same level of service that I provided for you and your team, or whatever it is you do, just switch up the language. Would you be able to do that for me, Joe? Joe is going to say, of course I can. And it might take him a week to do it. It might take him 2 weeks to do it. It might take him a month to do it, which is why I'm saying to you, reach out to those top clients over the next 3 days, because I know you can do that, especially if you're spending an hour or 2 prospecting each day as it is. Make this a priority. Why would you hunt for new business when you can call back your existing clients, the ones that you served at a tremendous level, and grab the low-hanging fruit? They know people. If they bought a cell phone from you, they know other people who need a cell phone. If they bought a printer from you, they know other people who need a printer. If they're a business who bought consulting or services from you, they know other businesses who need to get consulting and training done for them. No matter what industry you're in, no matter what you're selling, if you're a personal coach, reach out to your clients and ask them, who are some friends that you know who are at your same level of success that I can reach out to and have a conversation with about how I can serve them? And maybe if you're a personal coach and you're selling B2C, business to consumer, maybe you can say, for every person you refer to me who enrolls, I'm going to give you a free month of coaching. My first business coach, Di, offered this service, and it compelled me to send him as many different people as I could possibly think of sending him, because it would get me a free month of coaching or consulting or whatever it is you're offering. So reach out to your past clients, the ones that you've already served at an incredibly high level, and ask them for help, right? People want to help you. The thing is, they don't know how to help you unless you tell them how they can help you. I hope this was helpful for you. Again, number 1 was create a goal and create a plan to get moving towards that goal. Number 2 was to literally get moving. Put 20 minutes on your calendar each day to get outside, go for a run, go for a walk. Hell, if you haven't worked out in 20 years, maybe just start stretching and take it one step at a time. The 5th P in my 5 principles of peak performance is progress. 1% progress each day will create drastic improvements and momentum for you in your life. And number 3 was reach out to your top clients in quarter 4 and ask them, hey, I don't know if it's for you, but would you be able to introduce me to 1 or 2 people who I can serve at the same level that I served you? They're going to want to help you. And if it's not in quarter 4, it's going to be next year that they send people your way. And now you're top of mind. And now you've checked in with them to show them that you actually care about them. I hope these 3 tips have served you well. Hey, if you want to take this further, I created an entire strategy guide / workbook called the Sales Team's Guide to Peak Performance, and I would love to give you a copy of this guide. It literally goes over my 5 P's of peak performance: creating a plan, surrounding yourself with the right people, powering the plan with your mind and your body, finding your purpose, and making progress. Those are the 5 P's. It goes over specific strategies to help you do that. If you would like a copy of that, leave a comment below wherever you're watching it, and I'll email it to you or I'll send it to you in a message. I don't want anything for the guide. I just want to give it to you to help you make the most of quarter 4. I hope you guys have an incredible Halloween. Have an incredible quarter 4. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And until we talk again next time, continue to be better.